Hey everybody, my name is Kerry Vishwanathan. I'm a filmmaker based in New York City. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm so glad you could be here. I'm the director of the music video KELUARGA, written and performed by Ashley Hamill. Today we're going to focus on low budget production design. I'm going to show you how you could take an American cafe and turn it into an Indonesian household. It sounds completely off the wall ridiculous, pun intended, but we're going to do this. Let's do it. So let's say you're directing a music video and you have a budget of $0 and you have no set decorator, no art director, no production designer. What can you do in those situations? Since we didn't have anybody to help us out, me, Ashley, and our DP, Matthew Bradbury, had to use our skill sets and our resources to make this possible. Low budgets can be quite burdensome sometimes, but just because you have a limited budget does not mean it should limit your creativity. And just for the record, I have absolutely no experience in production design. I'm terrible at decor. I went into this project completely new and not knowing anything about where to put props, what colors work. If you're about to direct a video and you're in the same boat as I am, I hope this video helps you out. In the treatment of the video, we were originally going to have a big family dinner scene. There's going to be lots of food, lots of family, lots of laughter, but we didn't have the budget to rent a house for a few hours, and we couldn't find anybody who was comfortable enough to let us use their house for the whole day without, moving their stuff around and bringing all of our gear in and just stopping everything in their life so we could actually shoot our little music video. Fortunately, Ashley worked at this cafe called the Buttonwood Tree. She's a regular there, she performs there, and she was very friendly with the owner. So with the owner's permission, we were able to get the Buttonwood Tree for free for the whole day. On our location scout, we noticed right off the bat that the cafe didn't even resemble anything Indonesian. You turn one way, there's a cafe, you turn another way, there's a library. Originally, we were thinking of staging the family scene in the performance venue. As you can see, there's a lot of black curtains, there's a brick wall, all these paintings. I'm just looking at this completely stumped out of my mind. Matt Bradbury, our cinematographer, noticed an area of the cafe that had a green wall. And interestingly enough, green walls fit the aesthetic of a regular South Asian household. So with the owner's permission, we were able to go in there and redress it and make it our own. Provided we moved everything back, of course, when we were done filming. By the way, we were so broke we couldn't afford a behind-the-scenes videographer or photographer on set. So the next part of the video is going to be shown through my hand drawings. For the color palette, we were able to use a lot of different colors because it's a common style in Indonesia. So we were able to just experiment and try out what colors worked and didn't work. Usually it's good to have a specific color palette, but it really depends on your taste and your instincts. Depending on the budget, you can do one of a few things. You can buy or rent props from a rental house. If you can't afford that, you can always find stuff in your own house, or you can ask your friends and family to borrow any of their stuff. Doesn't hurt to ask. They could always say no, but you never know. They could always say yes. Now, in our case, all the props had to be Indonesian. Fortunately, Ashley and her family were nice enough to give us a lot of the props that were used in the video. She gave us fabrics, dolls, pictures, paintings, carpet, masks, other stuff I can't think of. I think my favorite prop of all was the angklung. It's this really cool looking Indonesian instrument that makes a great sound. Bring as much stuff as you can to the set. You never know what might work. It's always important to keep an open mind to any suggestions. As I said before, I never had experience set decorating. Fortunately, Matt Bradbury has a little bit of set deck experience. He works primarily as a videographer on documentaries and corporate videos, and he had experience in arranging props in the background, so he applied that knowledge to the video. When you're putting props in the scene, it's always good to put stuff in the foreground and background to give it some scale. You don't have to place anything in the foreground if the style doesn't call for it. It really depends on your personal preference. If you set deck within the frame, you put props all around, make it look busy, you'll create the impression of a much larger world in the audience's imagination. Because remember, just because you're working with a small space does not mean that the scene has to be small in scale. Not only are props great for decor, but they're also good for hiding up any unwanted areas. Just to backtrack for a second, once we cleared the space, we noticed that there's this ugly looking outlet that was just sticking out of the wall, and I was just like, oh god, I hate it. I just want to twist it up into a pretzel and throw it into the sun or something. I don't know if that's even a threat, but whatever. Fortunately, we found a dressing screen at the location, so we used it to cover up the outlet, and that was one big problem that we solved. We also had to deal with flyers posted on the sides of tables and on the walls. If those situations arise, the best thing to do is to take some cloth and drape it over the flyers. We also draped cloth over a part of the outlet that was still sticking out of the wall that wasn't shielded by the folding screen. You could drape it over the arms of C-stands. We placed our C-stand behind the desk and extended the arm over the table. If you can't afford C-stands, you can use duck clamps and clamp fabric to corners of tables, bookshelves, anything with a narrow edge. You could use light stands, you could use reflector stands. Sometimes if I want something sturdy, I use a light stand, a reflector stand, and I'll rig the arm with a grip head. You can always hang fabric off of anything nailed to the wall or sticking out of the wall. We used a banjo. So, in a nutshell, if you cover everything up nicely and place props in an interesting way, you can make a low-budget music video look like $1 million. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a great day. If you have any questions or topics that you would like me to cover, drop it in the comment section. Most likely, I'll probably be able to answer it since I have a very, very low fan base and this is my first video. Keep creating, make movies, make art, and I love you guys. Peace!